Perfect Talk. What's good, man? On this episode, we're talking about Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills and his whole recovery. We're also going to talk about what should be done with Skip Bayless. Of course, we're going to talk about Brian Christopher Kohlberger and the tragedy out in Idaho. And your man Dana White caught on video, with a little wild-looking situation. We're going to talk about all that and much more. Perfect Talk. What's good, y'all? It's your man, DJPLICCAPLAYBOY, back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. Since 2023, got my dog in the building, my guy, SPEC. Wagwan, brethren.
Yes, sir. Glad to be back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother. 2023, man. Happy to see you. Perfect Talk podcast. We back for another one. Thank you for rocking with us all 2022, but we back for you, baby.
Sure.
What's happening with you, though? How's your holidays?
It was pretty good. I had some time off from work, so, got things done around the house, got some relaxing.
How long was you off for?
About 5 days.
5 days. Okay, that's good. That's good. And you work from home.
I work from home.
So what's the difference when you work from home but you got that time off? Like, what you just sit in a different room? Like,
I'm not on my work computer.
Same room?
Well, no, I mean, because I work from one of the guest bedrooms.
Okay.
And so when I'm not doing my 9 to 5, I'm just not in the guest bedroom.
You just don't go in that room. Okay.
And I'm not on that computer, on that
desktop.
desktop.
Got you. Okay. But it's still, is it like
there's no stress if I'm not, every job is going to bring some level of stress because you're locked in, you're focused, you're all of these things. So, I mean, there's a big difference even though I do work from home.
I got you.
If I'm not working, I don't have to be focused on any one thing. Nothing is begging for my attention except for my kid.
Yeah.
But that's different.
Are you able to get in that mentally it's like, all right, this is vacation mode?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Anytime. Vacation for me is just not working.
Not working. 501.
Anything outside of that is vacation for me.
I hear you, man. It feels good. 2023. I got that New Year energy. It's in the air, you know what I'm saying, and just trying new things and just going for it, man. Just living my best life, man.
Absolutely.
Man, what else? But Christmas was good. You went home.
I went, down to the city.
Okay.
Family.
You're originally from the Bronx, so everybody who don't know.
BX.
Stand up. You know what I mean? And you went to see the Peoples?
Yes, sir.
Nice. You go and check both sides of the family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever we do go down for the holidays, a lot of house hopping.
Got you.
But it works because her family celebrates Christmas on the eve. My family celebrates it on the 25th.
Got you.
It works out.
Got you. You said wifey does it Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
That's Hispanic.
Yes.
All right. Sweet. And then you do the Christmas Day thing.
Yep.
Got you. That's cool with the tradition. Now, it's 3 Kings Day. Y'all do that in the crib?
I mean, I don't do it. And she halfway does it. Like
some years does it, some years doesn't.
I mean, there's no consistency to it.
Got you.
I couldn't even tell you much about it.
Was that yesterday? From when we recording it, but yeah.
I have no idea.
I think I seen someone do it on social media, so I was like, it must be 3 Kings Day, man. But I got a bone to pick with SPEC, man.
I believe she uses it to justify more gifts.
More gifts, right? Yeah, but she expect for gift giving all around. Like, I want something too.
I ain't get her nothing. Our anniversary is 2 weeks after Christmas, so you ain't getting Christmas, 3 Kings Day, and anniversary.
What is the significance behind it? No, I mean either. Yeah, but it has something to do with the wise men, no?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yep.
All right,
and gifts to Jesus. So I don't know.
Something for the kids. Let the kids rock, SPEC. I got a bone to pick with SPEC, man. It is 3 Kings Day, which is a day in January if you don't know. And I ain't get my Christmas present yet, dog. Like, I'm on the group text with SPEC. Everybody thanking SPEC. Good looks for the present, SPEC. I'm like, I'm in the checking my mailbox. You know what I mean?
You hit me up asking, did I forget about your Christmas gift? But I didn't. I came bearing gifts.
Sometimes you gotta ask, man. I try to be sneaky with it too. Be like, yo, should I be looking out? Ain't nobody. Oh, okay. What we got here? Right here. Okay. For y'all listening, not on the YouTube. Go check us out on YouTube though. What you got for me, SPEC? Woo! Versace. I feel like the Migos. Versace, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Take off. Okay. Got the 3-piece set. All right. I got the gift bag, bro.
I had to bring that.
Okay, this is Herdez avocado sauce. Shout out to Herdez.
Because that's the shit. I didn't know if you ever tried it, but I had to cop so you can try that for yourself.
What am I putting this on?
I put it on meats. meats. Like steaks.
Got you. Also like an A1 sauce type of thing, but like a different kind of flavor.
And it has like a slightly hot. So anything you would ever put hot sauce on, I mean, it's a good taste.
It's just I can cop this though if I like it. Like
okay,
they sell this here. Okay.
Yeah, they sell it. They sell it at Walmart. Okay. I haven't seen it at Price Chopper.
You could like, this is a vacation gem right here. I thought I was getting souvenir. So.
That one, that came straight from Colombia.
Oh.
When Thalia went there in September.
Did you go?
I
didn't go. Oh, okay, Colombia. Yeah. I want to go, bro, because Mercedes, my daughter's half Colombian, so I definitely do want to try it out. I've been hearing some great things.
Yeah, she went out there.
A resort or?
Yeah, she went out to. She had a wedding to go to.
Gotcha.
So part of the stay was at a resort.
Gotcha. This is the Juan Valdez. What kind of liquor is this? You know?
I don't. It's some type of coffee type of.
And I love the gift sets that come with the glasses, bro. I got the some Johnny Walkers to add. I'm gonna add the Juan Valdez to the collection. Okay, I see some more stuff in here, but this ain't legal in every state, man. This ain't legal in every state, man.
You know what I mean? I want you to try.
Okay, little SPEC. Good looking, brother. I appreciate it. No, all jokes aside, you know what I'm saying? I was messing with him about the Three Kings Day, but it's gratitude. I appreciate it, brother. Oh man, okay. Get into that Juan Valdez a little bit later, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna get that off your couch, get it off the set, man. But lots been happening in the world since we last chopped it up, man. Something that I seen all over media. It took over media when it happened. Keith actually texted the group chat when it happened. It was your man Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills. You see, I got my Bills Mafia hat on, representing. Because that hurt the nation to see that.
That was crazy. It ain't even seem like that hard of a hit at first.
Mm-hmm.
But
no. When you watch it on the replay, he do some hit stick. He hit the boost button, like, you know what I'm saying, on some, like, because he knows he about to get hit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I've seen way harder hits before. So it didn't seem like anything, but from my understanding, I mean, when it comes to cardiac arrest and chest injuries, you just have to hit it in the right spot versus how hard you hit it.
So it was like a direct hit to his heart, you think?
Yeah, I mean, he got hit in the chest. And they say, you know, it's not about the force versus the right spot. It's just like, you know, in boxing, you know, you've seen dudes drop off of it seem like, you know, just, you know, they just get tapped. But you tap in the right spot. That's all it takes.
And he got up quick.
He did.
He got it right away. If anyone under a rock, Damar Hamlin plays for the Buffalo Bills. They playing the Cincinnati Bengals Monday Night Football. I'm chilling. I wasn't even watching the game, and then Keith sent us a text like, "Yo, some dude just passed out on the field. Y'all watching this right now?" And then when I turned on, you know, it was silence. It was that eerie feeling. He was still on the ground for a while, right? 10 minutes. They were trying to resuscitate him. You see players crying. You see emotion that you don't usually see in a sport where when someone gets injured, you just move the practice up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not used to reacting like that. And the thought that they might possibly have to play after that was like, it's just kind of what you kind of at first are like, oh, they canceling the game. But then you're like, yo, you're supposed to expect these guys to play. And they're
humans.
They're what was the player that T. Higgins, right?
I'm not sure the player that did the hitting.
But he was getting backlash. Definitely on social media, which is crazy. Like, because he didn't do that on purpose. That wasn't a dirty play. It was a bang play. Like, it's silly. And his Damar Hamlin's family came to his defense. You also see my man Josh Allen of the Bills came to his defense. So it's like it's something that happens. It's a game where grown men, right, from the weight range of about 175 to 350 pounds are running into each other full speed. Head injuries, body injury, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a reason why we pay them that much money, but it also, as we learn more about the sport, it's like you start to think about what they're doing.
They might not even get paid enough for what they do, to be honest. Like,
it's such a violent sport, right? It's really so. And then because what the average NFL career, I'm thinking of 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, something like that.
But that's a lifetime of injuries. Like you're like OJ still walks weird. You know what I'm saying? And he played from a kid he played a full NFL career, you know what I'm saying? College, all that. So, and it's like, you can tell by the way he walks. Like, it's just, his knees can't bend. And how many NBA players?
And you hear that a lot, though.
Yeah. So. You can see him, like, and then not to even mention the CTE part of it, where now they got head injuries, concussions, things that we are recognizing now. They didn't recognize that back in the day. So, with as much precautions as they're taking to play a safety, this stuff is still going to happen.
Right.
It doesn't make it better, and he might not play football again, right? I don't see.
It'll be interesting to see, how I probably wouldn't after something like that.
First question he asked, he can't talk yet, from what I've heard at the time of recording this, but I guess he wrote, "Did we win?"
Yeah, yep, I heard that.
And that just shows the warrior mentality, I guess I'm gonna call it, and some people might call it silly.
Right.
Because it's like, but he also doesn't realize what happened to him. He didn't see what happened to him. He's
right.
waking up. He's passed out. So his mind is like, yo, what happened? Like, I know, it didn't work out. Like, something bad happened. I got injured. But did we win? Because that's what they're there for, right? That's what they came to do. Yeah, I don't. It's not even one of them things I call sad. I think it's, what I mean? Because football changes so many players' opportunities. Like, full disclosure, my nephew plays football, and I don't fully know how I feel about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell my sister what to do. You know what I mean? That's her decision to make, and she ain't going to listen to me anyway. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I do have concern that, I would never want to see that. And his family was there. Damar Hamlin's family was at the game, a game in Cincinnati. So the fact that they had to see that, I can't imagine even like hearing shit like that, like living through that. Yeah, that's a rough situation. But how'd you feel when you seen it?
Hopefully he makes a. Yeah, when I first seen it, it ain't really hit me until because he stood up and then he passed out. We've seen that before. He probably got a concussion or some shit. But yeah, I didn't see them actually giving him CPR on the field, so I didn't see like those details of it. So it didn't hit me as like the same way it would have had I seen it actually happening. I didn't even see the video of the hit until over 24 hours later. I just, obviously I heard the story, so it didn't register in the same way. I just I heard it. Hopefully he'd be all right.
Yeah, nah. And we do hope that, full recovery, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like, because even the fact that he can't talk, to me, that's like so scary. Like, damn, bro. Like, he could communicate, which is great. Like, and that shows signs that hopefully is trending in a direction where he will eventually get his speech ability.
I wonder, like, if they have stats on, like, players who sustain injuries like that, if they come back to play.
Well, here's the thing. No one wants to see him die on the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So it's like
I tore my Achilles playing basketball. I never touched a basketball again.
That's what I mean. But even though but Kobe, right? Kobe walked off. And he wanted his first note was, I gotta come back, right? So I guess there are like players who that's all they live for.
Right. So that's the difference. I don't do this for a living.
Exactly.
If I do it for a living, that it changes the equation.
100%. Because you fed families with that. You've opened up so many doors with it.
Yeah. So that is true. Like I don't know if he has any side hustles or anything like. If this was his only means of income.
Players came back from cancer.
Yeah,
it's just different. But you feel like you're gonna see him die on the field because you saw him pass out on the field.
Right. That was what he had was a football related injury. Right. It happened due to what he was playing versus the cancer. Okay, once I beat this has nothing to do with football per se, so I can still go back out on the field and perform.
Yeah.
Versus if you got a football-related injury, in the back of your mind, can this happen again? Will I make it out again? All of those things.
Even basketball, right? Magic Johnson with AIDS, right? People thought, because we didn't know what we thought about AIDS at the time, you're like, damn, I don't want, one, to see Magic, something bad happen to him on the court, and then two, I don't want to see him start bleeding and everyone starts freaking out.
And everyone really cared about him dying on the court versus he has AIDS.
The risk of being...
We don't know. Back then, we didn't really know much about it. So there was an ignorance behind it saying, well, if he's on the court with us, we're going to get it.
Yeah.
So we don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the closest I can compare it to like, bro, we seen you pass out off a hard hit that SPEC didn't even think was that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to watch you die now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. We'll give you a coaching position. We'll give you a honorary position because we want to take care of you.
He's deserving of it.
Yeah, sure. We don't want to watch. We don't want to see that and I'm sure your family don't want to worry about that game after game after game. He plays defense.
Mentally, it's a tough challenge. It's challenging to get through mentally.
Yeah. I gotta pull up the tweets, but I know you heard about the beef with Skip Bayless and
Shannon
Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe started because Skip during the game was live tweeting, right, and was like, I think, and everybody was just reacting to it. Everybody was just really saying how they felt, yada yada yada. But and there's tweets previous to the one that was so controversial. But basically, Skip was, come on, pop-ups. What in the hell? All right, hold on, I just had it. All right, here we go. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. That's the tweet. That's like, just left it there. I'll be honest with you, I didn't necessarily think the tweet was that bad. I didn't think it was like, because I guess I seen what he tried to do at the end there. Was like, I'm gonna make this point that's kind of like an asshole point. Who cares about this right now? But then I'm gonna be like, that don't even matter. Which I feel is like trying to play both sides of the table.
Yeah, like I'm trying to process the tweet. You can't play both. It's either you're on some shit. I don't think they should delay the game or postpone it, or you're in agreement with it. I don't see how you play both sides. And you don't. And it's funny. There's a thing I seen this week on social media. It's like, you can't tweet anything nowadays because someone's going to be offended by it. It's like, oh, for sure.
If you tweeting your vacation pictures, or you posting, I should just say, your vacation pictures, some people, there's a crowd, an audience out there who will be like, that's a privileged tweet that you're making right now, or some of us don't get to go on vacation. And it's like, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. So it's like, what people will do now is they'll make these comments or they'll make something, but they'll put these like caveats at the end, be like, this homeless guy just knocked on my window, you know what I'm saying? But I do, donate to charities, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to help these. It's like, you can't do both. Either you hating on them or...
I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but everybody wants to not be canceled and not do it. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to make like an asshole comment, I guess, sort of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he knows is going to get attention. Mm-hmm. And then like at the end be like, but all this is really irrelevant, you know what I mean? And in the grand sphere of things.
So it's interesting that you say that, because I'm processing this in real time, because like I told you,
it's your first time hearing the tweet, right?
I never heard the tweet.
Yeah.
So, it brings me back to like, let's just say Tupac, where, and this is just a human being trait. We technically can be on both sides. Like, I'll use myself as an example. Oftentimes, I'll explain something as if, I understand. This is my opinion first and foremost. With that said, I also understand this side of things. Yeah. So I can understand two different. Yeah, there's nuances. So I can understand both sides, and I don't necessarily have to firmly be on both sides. I can be on the fence because I'm human. Mm-hmm. But if you're gonna tweet out that that real time reaction, you can expect to get what comes along with that.
Gotcha.
I guess
which is what he wanted, right? And then so that brought us to the
or he just doesn't care and doesn't think about it on that level, and whatever comes from it comes from it.
Yeah, well, it'd be like, I don't, in any of the things that I'm involved in, you know what I'm saying, like project wise, I don't live off being salacious. Like, I don't feel like we come on here and do Perfect Talk podcast and say the wildest things and then clip it to put it on the internet because we want to pull people over. It's like, we just gonna give you the good conversation and just honestly how we feel about something. I don't gotta bring nobody down. I don't gotta be, you know what I'm saying, in a weird type of way. Whereas I think Skip's trying to be a little slimy about it. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, what's gonna get ratings? You know what I'm saying? And he knows it's a Trump of it all. He knows whether it's the Trump, it's the Jake Paul, it's the Tekashi 6ix9ine, it's the hate tweet equals money tweet.
Oh yeah.
Good tweet equals money. It don't matter if you love me or hate me. If I can evoke an emotion out of you,
talking about me,
you just added to my social status. Mm-hmm. You gave me social currency just now. You know what I'm saying? And I think something that like the greats, if you want to call them that, the Trumps, the Tekashis, the trolls, they realize is like, go hard in the paint. Yeah. Go offend as many as you can. And I'm not taking down the tweet. Right. I'm not pulling it down. So long story short, he did the next episode by himself of Undisputed, as a show they have on FS1.
Shannon didn't go.
Shannon didn't come the next day. People speculated, why didn't Shannon show up? You know what I mean? There's already been some clips in previous weeks of them arguing and going back and forth. So this seemed like it might have been another riff between the two hosts. And the first thing that Shannon does on the episode where he does appear, 2 days after the incident with Damar Hamlin, he came back on the episode and was just like, I'm going to talk, but I'm going to do a little monologue onto why I wasn't here the day before. And,
Perfect. Good to see you, Shannon. I understand you have something you want to share this morning.
Good morning, yes.
Morning. There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
That's where the
gentlemen,
focus should have been, and not on the football game. Yes, let's go, Jen. Thank you.
Just speaking about the injury and saying he wished Skip would take the tweet down. You know what I mean? Because people speculated about the tweet, and he feels that the tweet wasn't. It was in poor taste. I'm ad-libbing here what he said, but basically it was in poor taste, and that he hopes Skip takes it down, and which Skip interrupted him and was like, "I'm not taking it down." And then Shannon really expressed frustration and being interrupted. As if Skip, you could have rebutted when I was done,
right? But
you cut me off, and then they got into the whole thing, and I feel like Skip was egging it on a little bit with his mannerisms, for the same thing I just said. Right. He knows it's good TV. He knows it's good ratings. He knows it's clickbait.
He's been doing it long enough,
and it worked. Right? It got we're talking about him right now. So you know what I mean. I don't like that way of going about it, but it's a strategy, and it's a proven strategy. You know what I mean. But I don't know. I don't know if I care that much about being liked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if but I think my opinions aren't just necessarily hated opinions.
Right.
I don't know, but like every opinion I have isn't a popular opinion, and I will express it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain. Like how do I want to word it? Like if I was being asked about it, I'd express it. But it's like, do I want to go start a fight with this crowd of people?
You know
what I'm saying? Do I really want that smoke? You know what I'm saying? Is that how I want to spend my day?
Yeah.
And I think
he's used to it though. He's been doing this for decades.
Yeah,
so it's just one of those things.
Maybe I believe too much in the energy you put out.
Well, it's not. It's the truth.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to this is what he does. So for him, it's not viewed. He doesn't view it in the same light that we view it. This is
why he's successful,
right?
Yeah.
So he gets his energy off of this.
And I don't knock it. I do not knock it. And I said in the group text because we were talking about this. I don't watch TV shows like that. It brings my blood pressure up. Mm-hmm. It really does. Like I want to watch sports. I don't want to watch.
If I was watching it when it happened, I probably would have changed the channel.
Because it seems
I just don't like, because again I just don't like seeing shit like that at this stage. It's just like come on now.
Like even if my girls watch a reality show, like I ain't gonna front. I'm not like turn it off. But if there's too much fighting on there, I'm like, yo, you gotta watch this on a tablet or AirPod it or something. It's like you putting this weird energy in the house, and that's the same. I want to watch sports. I want to watch The View. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't need y'all arguing and bickering with each other. I want to watch a sports television show. Right. You know what I mean? So, best of luck with that. Who knows where their future will go together. It's a good dynamic. I don't know. It's like I never liked shows where people hated each other. That's not a good. I don't know. That's not good TV to me. Yeah. That's never been the move, man. But I got some questions, man, for our political correspondent. Is it official title that we call you now, SPEC? I got some questions.
Touch political correspondent.
You know what I mean? We out here, you know what I'm saying? Perfect talking politics, and you gotta let me know, bro. I got a question. Yeah, we're gonna get this whole section in name. I ain't got it right now because I just got political questions, and then I'll wait till you on. I don't ask you in the group text. I don't ask you in the private text. I'm gonna wait till Spec get on the podcast and explain this to me and America. What is this House Speaker stuff going on, bro? All week I'm getting these updates on my phone. House Speaker vote. Kevin McCarthy,
right.
he ain't get enough votes. So explain. I guess my first question is the House Speaker the same? That's like what Nancy Pelosi is
Yeah,
to the
that's
Democrats.
what she was.
Was for the Democrats. Hakeem Jeffries.
Right, where
currently.
Hakeem Jeffries is currently.
So,
but he's not the House Speaker. He's the House Minority Leader.
House Minority Leader. Okay, is that the same thing Kevin McCarthy's going for?
Kevin McCarthy is the House Majority Speaker now.
Because Republicans have the majority.
Have the majority in the House.
Is that what
if they had the minority, he would be the Republican minority.
But it's the same position, pretty much,
it's the same.
for both sides.
The leader of the party.
But one side is going to have more than the other, right?
Right.
Typically. So okay, I get it now.
So if the Democrats had more people in the House, then Hakeem Jeffries would be the Speaker of the House.
Copy that. What was my next?
So basically,
what happened to Mitch McConnell?
He got ousted. Basically, he was on the opposite side of Trump, and they ousted him from the speaker role.
How does that work?
If you have enough people in the party in the House that agrees that you should no longer be the speaker, they vote you out essentially.
Oh, okay.
And that's what happened. As you know, I mean, Trump has played a big role in the Republican Party over the last several years.
Yeah.
And he's had a major voice up until these elections in November, which showed that, people aren't really with Trump as much as they used to be. And at that point, they pretty much got rid of those who were not in line with Trumpism. Mm-hmm. So that's how McConnell got kicked out, because he wasn't in line with Trumpism. From the beginning, he didn't agree with what happened with January 6th. He didn't agree with what Trump was doing, so on and so forth. He made that clear. Trump made it clear that he didn't like McConnell and he would get him out, and that's what happened. And so now McCarthy is... So
at any point, if you're unpopular, the group could decide.
Yeah, if there's enough votes,
they have to get a certain number. Okay.
They can kick you out.
Political correspondent SPEC in the building. So what's been happening all week? So basically, McConnell was out, but they can't decide on who they want to be the new guy.
So on January 3rd, that marks like the new Congress session. Mm-hmm. So all the new people that got voted in November, they get sworn in on January 3rd.
Okay.
On January 3rd, whoever has the majority in the House or the Senate, they vote for who they want their speaker to be.
Okay.
And once that speaker is chosen, then they start, the swearing in. They start, these are the rules of the House, so on and so forth.
Oh, so we can't even get to that.
We can't even get to that until a speaker gets nominated.
And Democrats are there, right? I see an AOC.
Yeah, they're there.
They're there. They got to sit through this.
They have to sit through it because they have to vote. They're voting for Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, we know that already.
Right. So there's a total of 400 and something congressmen and women. Republicans have 200 and something. Democrats have 200 and something. So they go through a whole voting process of 478 people or something like that. So all the Democrats are going to vote for Hakeem Jeffries.
Gotcha.
And all the Republicans are either going to vote for Kevin McCarthy or whoever they think the speaker should be. So all the Democrats did vote for Hakeem Jeffries, which left the Republican Party. The vast majority voted for McCarthy.
Yeah.
But initially you had 20 Republicans who were voting either other or just voting for somebody else other than McCarthy.
That seems a little malicious. Like they don't like him.
Yeah, they made it clear, we do not want McCarthy as our speaker.
Why?
So you had these 20 Republicans out of 200 and something that was basically holding up this process. 20 people.
But why though? Why don't they like him?
They are all like strong Trump people. Like they are Trump
D-riders.
Right. And so while McCarthy is kind of a Trump D-rider, like he aligns himself with Trump, but he also knows that he can't fully align himself with Trump and get the full support that he needs.
Because it's not the popular move at the moment.
So he has to also align himself with some moderate, so on and so forth. So he can't go as far over as some of these extreme Trump people would like. And so it's just their position. Well, if you're not going to come all the way over here, then we're just not going to vote for you. So
and it was crippling basically the process.
So these last several days, they had to vote 15 times.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember when they said 4. They did 15.
They voted 15 times.
Wow.
The 15th time last night at 12 a.m. or this morning, it was successful.
Kevin got McCarthy.
But 14 times prior to that, it was he could not get enough votes. So every time,
what do you have to do every time? You have to go up there and convince them.
After the first 10, the first 10, he wasn't trying to convince nobody. He's just like, at some point they'll give in. Once he's seen that they were like hardcore about this, then he starts to having, all right, let me meet with them, really
little side conversations,
make concessions, and so after the 10th vote, that's what he started to do. And then 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, he was making stride. He was making headway. It went from like 20 to 15 down to 10.
What was he going the hard body to the other side in terms of?
He was giving them what they wanted.
He really was.
Yeah. Okay. And when all said and done, there was still some out there that he just wasn't willing to give them.
But he also could be gaming them a little bit too. Like, just telling them what they want to hear at the moment.
He could.
He's not. This isn't in writing, right? He's not stuck to.
No, but what will then happen is, okay, so he gets the speakership, and now it's time to pass a law. It's time to do this. It's time to do that. Oh, you played me? Now I'm going to just sit back, and now I'm not voting for you. I'm not going to vote for whatever you put through.
We're holding this process up.
I'm going to hold the process up. So he technically could do that, but it wouldn't be in his best interest to do so.
Copy. So now, Congress people, this is silly. It might be a silly question, but. Is the governors, what are they? Are the governors part of Congress?
Governors is in the Senate.
Governors are Senate. That's what makes. So Congress person is his own position.
So Congress is just a term for all of them. They're all congressmen.
They're all Congress. Oh, okay. But what is this? What is Senate and?
So that's the Senate. That's where all the governors and shit is at.
Is in the Senate.
In the Senate.
And the House of Representatives is.
The House. You have the House of Representatives. Those are all the senators. And I couldn't get into specific, but senators are lower than the governors.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's the senator of New York. That's what Schumer.
There's
a couple of them, right?
There's like 40. There's a ton.
Why? Because of the size of New York?
Yeah, because every county has an elected official.
Really?
Every has an elected official.
Yeah, and they all make up. Wow.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So if you come to Albany and you go to that we'll just call it the House in Albany.
Yeah.
There's like 200. There's a lot. There's a lot of people, but they just represent New York.
Really? Okay. I get it now. Okay. See, I don't be understanding the headlines, man.
It can get complex.
That's why we get you up here. But now you said the progress is moving forward.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna get sworn in.
At 12 a.m. this morning, he got enough votes that he needed.
Okay.
So. The swearing in and all that's not going to happen until Monday because it's the weekend. They don't work on the weekend typically. So yeah, but now they can move forward with doing the business of the American people.
Got you. Okay, you got to break down the headlines to me, bro. Something else I need to know a little bit of information out, man. We try to talk about this tragic incident actually on a couple episodes. We ain't had no information. I think I said the murder happened in Ohio. I think, you know what I'm saying, we had the wrong number of victims, but unfortunately, if you haven't heard by now, the Idaho murders, it was a college campus, right?
Yeah.
It was
well, it wasn't on the campus.
It was off-campus housing,
yeah.
Where 4 students lived, and or a few students lived, I should say, but 4 students were victims of a brutal murder. And it was a mystery, right? They couldn't find the guy who did it for weeks. So I seen this in the headlines also, that he was arrested.
Yeah.
Now,
Friday.
He's not from there?
No, he's from
Pennsylvania.
Well, his hometown is Pennsylvania, but he goes to school in Washington State, where the murders happened is basically on the border of where Idaho and Washington is.
Really? Okay.
And so he's from Washington State. 10 minutes. That campus is 10 minutes away from where those kids were murdered.
He's a registered student.
Yeah, he has his master's in criminology. And he graduated in May, and now he just finished his first PhD semester in criminology.
Are you kidding me, bro? And he was stalking this girl.
So we don't. That's what it appears, and people, not just. We don't know if he had a specific tie to any one of those people that he killed. They have not released those details yet. There's still a lot of details that haven't been released.
That they might know, but they're just not telling us.
Correct.
Got you. But because I seen something about his cell phone.
We don't know the motive. We don't know if he had a relationship. We just know between June and November, I think, is when the murders happened. He was in that area 12 times, so he was obviously
following, or
stalking, or casing out the joint.
Got you.
So to speak. Very calculated.
No previous
criminal record?
No previous criminal record. The only thing is, like I said, he's in school. He's a criminology, has a master's in criminology, and he's a PhD student in criminology.
They drove, I heard something like from Pennsylvania to drive him to maybe it was
no. So he drove from Idaho
back home
to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Was he pulled over? Cause I saw a body cam
footage.
footage.
Twice.
His dad, was he with his dad?
He was with his father. So his
dad knows?
We don't know that. We just know at some point his father met him in Idaho, and they drove back to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, cause I seen the cop stopped him. He was y'all don't like airplanes?
Pulled over twice.
Really? Because of the license plate.
Well, so the thing is, 5 days after the murder,
he changed the license plate. I heard that too.
So, I mean, I don't know, how or any of those things.
Could have got a personalized one, maybe, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
so, but yeah, he got pulled over twice in the 7 weeks that he was on the run.
That's
in the
nutty.
same car that we know is the murder car, so.
And so people seen him cleaning out his car, too.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And there's a lot that we still don't know, so.
You're always on video, bro. You ever know? You're always on video, bro. I mean, we're on video now, or YouTube, but you know what I'm saying? Like, wherever you go, you are always supermarket, outside of a building. Everyone got ring cams.
Even though people don't know, like, when you're driving on the highway, there's video cameras, no matter what highway you're on, all throughout the highway. And we have access, like, law enforcement, insurance officials, they have access to a system. That's a national system that just takes photos of cars' license plates traveling on highways.
Really?
Yeah, so I mean, you're always being watched.
Yeah, no matter what movie you're making. Yeah, that's crazy. That's nutty.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of information to be,
now,
diminished.
There were 2 other people in the house that weren't victims, right? And a dog, right?
I'm not sure about an animal, but certainly 2 other people were in the house.
And one of them seen the guy.
One of them seen the guy.
But we didn't know this before. They just released that information, or did we always?
We always knew that there were 2 other people in the house.
But did we know one of them seen him walk out or something
that was
like that?
Just released. That was just released.
Okay. Because I'm like, they didn't tell us. I don't feel like we knew that before.
Nope. But we knew that there were 2 other students that lived in the house that were unharmed. And everybody was like, that shit don't make no sense. And also,
she didn't call them.
The cops weren't called until
the next morning.
8 to 10 hours after the murders happened. And so
so no one knows what she did between seeing the guy.
I'm sure they know.
The public, they haven't released that.
They haven't. We don't know. We just know that she seen the dude. The dude had one of the girls, like, covering up her mouth and her nose and saying, "Don't worry, I'm going to help you."
Yeah.
And the girl who's unharmed, she was coming out of her room. She seen it, and she closes her door and locks it.
Yeah.
And that's all we know.
I don't know that she was freaking out or whatever.
Yeah, we don't know this. We don't know anything else that happened after that. But she does say she did hear crying. And she did see homeboy. She was able to pretty much identify him, but she didn't know who he was. And she just closed and locked her room door, and we don't know any more details after that. Like, why didn't you call the cops at that point, or because the cops weren't called till hours later.
That's some horror movie shit, bro. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
And people don't
get more details.
You know, I was thinking the other day, like, what happened to serial killers? I was like, well, how come? Remember, that used to be a term, right? That was a thing. But it was DNA, right? Because DNA came out, I think, and that you can't do.
They still, I mean, they're you could still be a serial killer.
They still happen. I don't hear about them no more. They don't make the news.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. But I mean, yeah. I don't recall the last one that we had, but now it's more mass murders.
That's how you'll get that number of murders. Yeah, like that's crazy, bro. Like,
Nowadays, it's harder to be a serial killer. I would like to say.
Why is that?
Well, because it's just so it's
DNA,
harder to get caught.
Right? Yeah.
Or it's easier to get caught nowadays.
Hair follicles, like
everything. Yeah. I mean, cameras. Everything's on camera, like you said.
This dude left his knife. The knife there.
He left the knife sheath. They haven't found the murder weapon, but they found the knife sheath. He left it on the bed. I don't know if that was a mistake or it's just certain thing because he seems too calculated to make a little mistake like that. So I don't know.
Maybe got scared and ran out.
Yeah, who knows?
That's nutty, man. But then, those are prayers with the family. That sucks to have to go through that. And even his family, right? Like, no one never thinks about like the family of a killer. But like you just hate it.
I wonder why his pops met him in Idaho and drove back. Like, did he know?
Yeah, that look wild. Even if it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if your kid calls you from somewhere, you're gonna go get him.
Of course.
But no questions asked. Yeah. But maybe you should ask that question. Something a little weird out there, man. But yeah, like I said, man, throw all jokes aside, throw some prayers with the family, because that is some wild shit to have to go through, man. Shit, what else happened? Let me see my fucking topic list here. What else happened in the news, brother? Oh shit, man. Dana White slapped his man. We got depressing stories this episode, man. I should have found some happy stories now, but Dana White got caught on camera slapping his wife. And I'm a Dana White fan. You know, I like the UFC. I'm a huge fan of what's going on in the UFC. And Dana has spoken out about domestic violence because a lot of people, obviously, in the UFC have had to deal with that. And,
that is true.
Yeah, no, and his I'm gonna get his statement to TMZ, but he acknowledged that.
He can't speak on that shit no more.
No, he acknowledged it. He's like, yo, I've called out a lot of people about domestic violence, and
yeah, but now like your word is diminished. It's just kind of like at that point, nobody gonna respect that shit.
Did you see the video?
I seen the video.
You seen the video? No, then there's no what's the word I want to say? There's no excuse for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't condone that. However, I know human beings. Sometimes getting hit, your reaction is just to hit back. Like, you know what I mean?
And did she? I can't remember. Did she slap him first?
She slaps him first. He says something to her, and then she turns and she slaps him. Which we're not justifying. We're not saying that she's slapping him first. It's for her to get slapped, because a woman slapping a man isn't the same as a man slapping a woman full strength. So we're not condoning that. But what I was saying is, as much as I can sit here and point fingers, and then full disclosure, I've been caught up in those type of altercations myself. As easy as it is for me to point a finger, I know that how bang bang moments happen, and you know you make the wrong decision real quickly. But let's see. He said, "You heard me say it for years. There's never an excuse for guys to put his hands on a woman, and now here I am on TMZ talking about it." You know what I mean? So it's true though. It's a lesson to be learned there. Like, and are you familiar with Blueface and Krayshawn Rock and how volatile their relationship is? And that, I get like PTSD when I see them, bro. Like that shit is like. That shit is like, get the fuck away from that. Like that is very only going to end up bad. You know what I mean? Black eyes. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, no, it fighting family members, that it can't end well, you know what I mean? So when I see stuff like that, I know that this stuff does occur in relationships. It does happen. It hurts to see somebody like Dana, who you respect as a businessman, but it also is the humanness of him.
I didn't even know Dana was married. Real talk.
Only reason I knew he was married because I think what's this guy that trolls him? Jake Paul said something about Conor McGregor and him getting like hookers and how something about them being married. I think that's the only reason I knew about him being married.
Okay,
but I never seen him with his wife. To your point, like I never seen him like, which I shouldn't. That's not. He's not really a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like he's out.
I mean, he's not, but he is. I mean,
not in a corny way. Not but he's not doing corny stuff for attention.
Yeah,
he's running his business, which just happens to be a successful business, and so I shouldn't know his family. I shouldn't know his kids. I shouldn't know things like that. Like I don't know, which is true. But
does he have kids?
Well, they mentioned it. I was the only reason. They both put out statements.
He does great keeping his family life private.
I mean, but Elon Musk just had an issue with that, saying that you know, like people following where his plane was going, they were tweeting about it. He's like, yo, you're putting my family at risk. Like, and Elon Musk has like 15 kids or some crazy shit like that. Yeah. But it's like, I don't want to know who these people's kids are. I shouldn't know that. I shouldn't know. Like Rihanna, I think I heard she came out with the pictures of her kid because someone was going to leak pictures. Okay. They took pictures of them on vacation or something like that, and just to stop them from extorting her or doing shit, she came out with the pictures or the video, the TikTok, I should say. But it is. It's you don't think about the families and the kids in the situation. And like I said, the only reason I knew about it because they made these statements. And I know like alcohol gets into these situations, drugs or whatever, partying. You know what I mean? It gets crazy. Chris Brown, Rihanna years ago. You know what I mean? That was seemed like a volatile relationship, and it definitely, you know what I mean, ended badly. But it does happen. It's just the humanness of it, you know what I mean? So shout out to Dana and just, you know what I mean?
The only sad part I will say is the fact that this happened in a public space tells me I doubt this is the first time in a relationship.
It might get worse, yeah.
So,
you know what it is too? I don't know how to explain it. I guess maybe it's easy for me to say because I'm in a really like smooth relationship right now. Is like, you got to get away from the stuff when it's bad. It's like when it's crazy, but it sounds easy to say, bro. but it's so hard to do in the moment. Not everybody just walks away from something, but your life could change. Like if scenarios had went different ways, you could be sitting in a prison cell or in a hospital not moving. It's that easy to be on both sides of it. You know what I mean? And when I was in a volatile relationship, like that thought hit me that this ain't gonna end great. You know what I'm saying? And the moments happen in a heartbeat. You know, Dana White didn't leave the crib thinking I want to be caught on TMZ at a New Year's Eve party slapping my wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they happen in a heartbeat so fast that if the possibility of that even occurring is part of your relationship, get out of the relationship. You know what I mean? So, shit, did anything happy happen this week?
It's the new year.
Any happy news we can talk about? I'm trying to think. Javante Davis is fighting tonight, right? Is his name?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Fighting Garcia. Somebody, I was gonna talk about it, but the ad just came up too.
Danny Garcia?
Is it Danny Garcia? Hold on, let me see. Pull it up. But I know I was saying I want to be home back in town to watch it. Hector Luis Garcia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's undefeated also. But didn't Javante Davis just get in trouble for some shit like that too?
That wasn't recent. Not that I know. I know, like, he got in trouble, like, a year or two ago.
I think something recent happened. Like, his wife... I don't know if he got arrested, but I know his wife made a 911 call.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And then he posted something where she put, like, shit all over his like, toothpaste or toothbrush and, like, bathroom products. And, yeah, it was his... Get out that situation, yeah. You know what I mean? It don't end well, man. It don't well. But, yeah, the card is tonight. I have not seen... I've seen highlights. I don't think I've ever watched a Davis fight.
Yeah, I've watched some of his
have you?
before. Yeah.
Entertaining?
Huh?
Entertaining?
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's a good fighter. You know, he's one of Floyd's fighters.
Got you.
Floyd certainly knows how to pick him.
Speaking of Dana White and boxing, I wish like a Dana White would come in there, a character like that, and just kind of take over boxing and make it more competitive. They're trying now because I watch some of those ESPN.
How I feel like in boxing there's just too many divisions, too many.
You kind of got to like eliminate that maybe, or start your own like. It's got to be like a league kind of. You know what I mean? You want to be in this league.
It's like college football. There's just too many leagues. There's too many divisions. There's too many. They need to narrow it down.
Does top ranked fighters fight against top ranked fighters? No, right? They'll fight against
not
like
in
another.
Boxing.
In boxing, right?
No.
But they need something where they like. If you got the best of the best, make them fight each other.
Yeah, it doesn't work like
that. Yeah, no, because you don't want to make your own guy look bad. That's why it needs like a league of some sort, like a UFC. I mean, and you see it in MMA. Other people try it, and it's hard to duplicate to that level of success. But I think when you eliminate the "I'm choosing my fights" kind of thing, or when we get out of this 25-0,
it's the promoters,
15-0, like a loss ain't that bad. You fighting a grown like a loss. You're not a shitty fighter because you got a loss. So why does your value diminish that much? Like I got mad that was Anthony Joshua fight was supposed to happen with who's the dude that fought Tyson Fury 3 times? Wilder. That fight like kind of went away once Joshua lost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and he kind of like, I mean, he probably was slacking. You know what I mean? When he caught the L, but it's like we still could have seen a dope fight. Yeah. And it's like I hate that happens. Like it's like that ranking system
it's
like that.
It's because of promoters and the money.
Yeah.
That's basically what keeps that in play.
And even so, it's you're right, because the same way a top headliner rapper isn't going to open up for a headliner, or he's not going to take the same pay as someone on a mid-level. Right. You're kind of like, well, I'm undefeated. Why am I fighting this? You know what I mean? But if you got a league, you get away from that, I feel like. You know what I mean? You got to do what you say you got to do. But we ain't going to fix boxing in a day, man. It ain't going to happen, man. Something new you tried for the new year. You said you took a class, right? Electrician's class?
Yeah.
I seen that. How'd that go? Why did you get into that for like let the people know out here?
I got into that because you know I like to consider myself a handy man, and you know I'm pretty good with plumbing, carpentry work, all of those things. Electrical work has been my Achilles heel. And so I always find myself.
How'd you find out it was your Achilles heel?
Because I done broke a lot of things in my crib.
You done tried it?
Blue fuses, all of those things, and it was a harsh reality. Like you ain't got the juice, my brother.
You never got hurt?
Fortunately, I never got hurt. No.
How close could you have gotten to getting hurt?
I don't know, because I mean, you don't know what you don't know. So
now you know if you have to like avoid a spark or some shit like that.
No, that hasn't happened. Okay. But certainly I've blown fuses, broken product, you know, due to electrical shorting and shit like that.
You just fixed some flooding shit that was going on in your crib. I remember you sent us you told us about that was over the holiday, right? So no,
over
but
the
you did
holiday, but yeah,
right after, right? Excuse me. But you did pretty good with that, right? Like that was pretty smooth.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, electrical work has been my Achilles heel, and electricians are very, very expensive. So I would always find myself having to call over an electrician.
Let me know. Put me on the game. Put me on the game because
very, very small and simple.
Keith said the same thing. So I don't know. I rent. You know what I mean? Put me on the game. What are we talking prices?
I mean, you can get an electrician to come to your crib to just fix a light switch.
Yeah.
And that could easily run you $300-$400 just to fix a light switch.
And how long is he there for? Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
It depends on how.
I'll
give you two real scenarios. So one situation, I burnt one of the electrical fuses.
Okay.
Right, and so it's a $6 part. You go to Home Depot. Called up the electrician. You know, he came in, he diagnosed the situation, which normally they will charge you for, probably like $100 and something.
Diagnostic check.
Just to diagnose the situation.
Got you.
Then he comes to me, is like, all right, this is the issue. If you want me to fix it, it's gonna cost you $375. And all he was doing was changing out the fuse.
What do you mean if you want me to fix it? What do you mean?
So really, so he's like, I can fix it myself, and I'm gonna charge you the $375, or I could just tell you just go pull that thing out and replace it with this $6 part at Home Depot.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna charge you for the diagnostic.
So he put you on the game. He didn't have to. He
could have just charged me $375
for a $6 part.
For a $6 part, essentially.
Okay.
Another time, I was installing a bathroom fan in the bathroom, and I didn't realize that in the process I didn't blow the fuse, but I had caused some type of an electrical current that made the circuit breaker switch off. Which in a normal situation, all you do is go to the circuit panel where all your electricity is, and
flip it back on.
Flick that switch.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, right? And so I didn't know that
you didn't know you did that. That caused that.
I didn't know that what I was doing had caused that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why the hell is this thing not working?
Yeah.
And I'm trying all of these things. And I even went down to the panel and like, maybe, one of the switches.
Yeah.
And so I looked at all the switches. They all looked on.
They're all going the same direction.
They're all going as far as I understood.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? So I called up the electrician. He came in. Literally. So he came in, looked at the wires and the ceiling fan. All of this looks right. Mm-hmm. So what happened? I don't know what happened. So then he walks down to the panel.
But so it looked like it was on, but it really was off.
Yeah.
Just those two. Or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah. It looked.
It didn't turn enough to like.
He looked at the wires and seen everything was correct. So in his mind, okay, there's nothing going on here. Yeah. So it has to be. And so all he did was that.
Yeah.
And the shit came on. Meanwhile, and again, he's an electrician, but I knew him, so it wasn't a random company that I'm calling. He didn't charge me for that, but on the normal circumstances, I would have got charged at least for the diagnostic check. So I'm getting charged $130 just for that.
Off top.
And then just for the labor itself, I would have paid $2 something. And all he did was go like that.
Flick a switch. Yeah, I should be an electrician. I'm in the wrong business.
So, but I've had to pay. I had to pay an electrician to install a light switch, as well as install a new outlet for a second dryer. Mm-hmm. Those two things cost me $700
together.
Yeah, okay. Just to install an outlet for a dryer, which is different because those plugs are like this, so it's not the same as a normal outlet, and a light switch. Not a light switch, an outlet. A new outlet.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, it cost me $700 just for those two things.
So in your head, you're like, let me learn the skills, save some money.
Yeah, and plus, I plan on investing in real estate properties, and so I'm like with any home, there will be electrical shit. Yeah. So for me, it makes sense. What I learned in the class, it will be a invaluable
lesson.
Lesson.
Definitely. How much you pay for the class?
The class the class itself is $640. Textbook is about $70. So I mean,
you save yourself what you pay for those 2 repairs. You would have saved
right. And like I said, over time it'll be priceless.
More than that, yeah, exactly. That's dope. That's dope, man. Shout out to you, man. I said it earlier on this podcast, I think on an episode with Keith, but I definitely invested in like a guitar. I used to play guitar back in high school, and everybody knows I DJ, obviously. So it's something to add on to my musical repertoire. But I want to teach myself how to do it. You know what I mean? With like self-learning. So I'm on the educational grind too. But let's keep informing the people here on Perfect Talk Podcast how we go, like, because I want you to tell us more about your real estate stuff. You know what I'm saying? As you go in that path and as you progress, you know, you find the property, you make the investment. Like, I want to know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put us on the game, because I know there's a lot of people out here that rock with us that would love to know that process, the pitfalls. You know what I'm saying? And what lessons you learn along the way. So definitely keep us informed with that.
Once I close my first deal, I will definitely come on and talk about that process.
Yeah, yo, bro, don't tell me that, because I'll be like, let's get these cameras, let's you know what I'm saying, live stream the whole thing, you know what I'm saying. But nah, you know what's crazy though, and I'll move on right after this. But like, when people like us do things, you know what I mean, you'll be surprised how many people that maybe look like us kind of put limitations on themselves.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I know.
So when we, I would love, like, that's why I record with you, I record with Keith, I record with Niche. We're all young black people that move in a positive direction, and we move forward in life. We're not just taking what life hands us. We're taking like life in our own hands. And I think once people see that a little bit more, it might help somebody out there may be a little bit courageous, make that leap in their life. Sure. You know what I mean? So definitely, like I said, if you could just put us on the game, and I'll be there making footage and making content out of it, bro. You know what I mean? To put people on the game out here. But that's another episode in the books, bro. 2023. Still no social media.
No, it will happen.
Okay. No, it's all good, man. No rush. Take your time. You can find your man DJ Playboy at Pliccapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY on Instagram. Also follow me on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio, and then we just set up the new Twitter at Perfect Talkers. So check us out, you know what I mean, and holla at us. Let us know what's going on.
Smash that like button on YouTube.
You already know. Shout out to all the people out there on YouTube rocking with us, and subscribe. We got a lot more content coming for you this year. What else we got? A website. We got some website changes. I know I teased that all last year, but real talk, 2023. We definitely got some website changes on the way, but still keep rocking with us, because the content's great. www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Every episode of the podcast, my radio show, I do it with my brother DJ Show, Money Talks Radio, and I'm bringing back the night shift in 2023. So look out for that. That's my other radio show that I do. Also, check me out on Instagram I think we're switching up the night. We've been doing every Thursday, but I think we're going to switch it over to Wednesdays. We've been going on Instagram Live. So we're going to figure out a new name, but we was calling it AO Thursdays. Guess we're switching to AO Wednesdays. So check us out Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. Me and AO Niche go live on Instagram. We just talk about all types of different things we got going on. Niche always got new topics on there, so check that out on Instagram every Wednesday at 8. And I'm trying to think what else I got going on. Just always check, Specs at YouTube. Check out the YouTube. Check out everything we got popping. Also check us out on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. I don't even know if Google Podcasts still rock. I got to make sure that's still a thing. But we are out here. Spotify, if I didn't say that already. And of course Apple Podcasts. So make sure you leave a rating, like, review, all of that they do in there, and let the algorithm know that you love what we're doing. Because we're going to keep bringing that content to you, man. Spec, I know you said you're going back to school. Are you watching anything nowadays? Nah, you focusing on books?
Yeah, more so on the books. Like the last month, I have not watched too much TV.
So put me on the game. I'm gonna leave the TV question in the past. We in 2023. What are you doing for, like, when it's your peacetime? Like, what's your hobbies nowadays, or what are you doing in your downtime?
My downtime, I'm either reading, listening to Audible, or just doing something with my son.
Is it enjoyable, or is it reading for entertainment or education?
Education. I don't like reading for entertainment. I read now because I realize the power of knowledge. And I'm enticed by that. If you want to call it a form of entertainment, but I don't look at it.
But it has an educational purpose,
because I don't look at it as fun per se.
Got you.
But I'm driven towards it.
Got you. Well, So, and you're working out, right? You got a regular workout routine? You do?
No.
No working out at all?
Nah.
Really?
Like that. So
Are you bringing that back in the 2-3?
I would like to. I would like to.
You got a gym set up in your
do.
you really?
But what I've realized is once upon a time, because I've always been gung ho about working out, working out is what has given me my daily satisfaction. Like if I did nothing else, as long as I worked out, I will feel accomplished for that day.
Yeah.
But nowadays, especially since my son was born, the things that make me feel accomplished are different. And I no longer seek it through working out, where once upon a time I sought it through working out. Like that's all I needed to do to feel accomplished.
Gotcha.
And now that's just not the case. So working out has kind of taken a backseat, and I need to figure out a way how to incorporate it into my normal busy schedule.
We ain't gonna be in our 30s forever,
Yeah,
bro.
I
You know what's coming around the corner, man. Them good genes ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying?
They say dad bod, it's in effect.
Well, a lot of brothers out there not working out. I mean, you got like I said, you got good genes, you in good shape. But a lot of brothers out there not working out. You know what I mean? They suffering. So get back before you get too far gone.
Yeah, sure.
Lose that muscle memory. So what do you do do no entertainment? You got to do something, man. You seem like a pretty well balanced guy.
My entertainment is
education.
My entertainment nowadays just comes from learning. I mean, I'm always thinking about my future. So for me, I get gratification out of learning today, knowing what that's going to provide me for the future.
That's dope.
And
that's
so
dope. This is not the guy I lived with in college.
That's really what it's about.
You come a long way, brother.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So what's important for me, I'll just say this, is in nature, I'm a solitary individual. So I don't get much sleep nowadays. I get maybe about 5 hours of good sleep.
Because of waking up early?
I stay up late. The purpose of that's the only time I get to myself.
Everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah, from 6 a.m. all the way up until 9 p.m. I'm either doing work or something family related, which is not me time.
Gotcha.
And so my form of entertainment also is just making sure I provide myself with quality time to enjoy me.
Yeah.
And my own thoughts with no interruptions.
So that's not reading during that time,
No, because I'm still so again, I find gratification in the learning process and all of those things. I find gratification in that, but my ultimate form of, we'll just quote unquote entertainment will just be.
No, well, I mean specifically at the late night, when you stay up late night. Are you reading during that time?
If I'm staying up late, typically no. Like I'll do a reading between maybe like 8 and 9.
Yeah.
While I'll be listening to Audible actually. So when I say read, it's rare.
No, I use that term too. Yeah. The audio books is education while you're doing washing dishes.
Right,
you know what
there
I mean?
you go.
Yeah.
So between 8, Aaron goes down at 8.
Yeah.
So between 8 and 9, I'm doing house chores.
Yeah.
I have on my headphones. I'm soaking in energy while I'm doing my house chores. After that is when I'll sit down on the couch and I may turn on the game. Even though I'm not gonna just be sitting in front of the TV focused on the game itself. But at that point, I may have my eyes closed, just resting my eyes.
Meditating kind of.
Meditate or, just something like that.
Got you. Nah, definitely. You
something that doesn't put too much stress on my brain at that point. Because at that point, it's late. I'm just about decompressing and just not too many thoughts going on up here. Because all day for 15 hours, there's a bunch of thoughts going on up here.
And you got to be responsible.
So I need that time to just decompress and not think about anything.
All right.
And that's what that time really is spent, doing.
No, that's deep. That's deep. No, I had no idea. I remember working out and watching sports was your thing.
That's all I did.
I remember that. Yeah. Bro, I'm gonna say I'm podcasting half the time, or I'm editing something, or I'm making content. So it ain't partying over here either. You know what I mean? But it's about. But we don't get fun from that. Like if I'm having too much fun, I feel guilty. I really do. I'm like, yo, there's work to be done, bro. There's money to be made. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta get better with that because I think I'm a little bit unbalanced with that. You know what I mean? Gotta give myself the grace to have that mindless video game time or whatever your silly thing is to do.
You need it.
Yeah.
During the holiday when I had those 5 days off, 4 of those days I didn't do anything. Like I intentionally made sure I did nothing. And it gets to a point where it's kind of like by the fourth day, it's like, because during the times when I'm doing absolutely nothing, I'm eating whatever. I like every habit is bad, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like by the fourth day, it's like my stomach is effed up. I don't smoke too much. I need to get back into normal.
Yeah, because it's not natural. It's not what it's like when I went to spring break and then I come back
Or
and then
Vegas. Like by the fifth day, I want to go home. I'm done. I'm tired of this. No more partying. No more.
That's exactly. You're right. That's a better example. Because with spring break, I would come back to college. And then you'd still see me in spring break mode. You'd be like, yo, play, we got class. What are you doing? I'm getting faded early thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I'm in my break mode, like I'll get faded in the morning. Like I wake up to wake and bake. Like, you know, I can only do that but so many days in a row. Yeah. Because if I start off my day like that, that means that's what the whole day is more than likely going to be like.
100%.
I'm not going to start off my day waking and baking and then, all right, at 2 o'clock, I'm going to do some strenuous mind work or something like that.
Because you're right. Yeah. That's, as we're getting older, too, I'm realizing that, you save that for later.
If I start my day off like that, it's going to set the tone for my day.
100%. We got too much to get done, man. But that's another episode in the books. SPEC, thank you for coming through, man.
Yes, sir.
And definitely thank you for dropping them jewels, man. We got another year of content for y'all, so just stay tuned and we're going to keep rocking out with y'all, man. Say goodbye to the people, brother.
Peace.
Peace.